this is activity 1.2, comparing and contrasting graphs. So you are going to notice I'm going to start using these little plastic sheets over my stuff so that I can write in expo marker and erase. What happened in my other class is that I wrote on the book and then I had issues with the recording and I had to start over, but I had already written in the book. So to prevent that, I'm going to start writing in expo marker. You can write in your book. I just don't want to write in my book and then be stuck with only having, because I only have one copy of the student book as well. Okay, so notice we are going to be comparing the graphs that you glued in or that you were looking at in the last part of this lesson. So what similarities, so what things are similar. So let's go back over here. Let's look at these two graphs. Notice we have time, and this one's number of gallons, and that's height. Okay, let's look at this one. It has number of cuts and length. So if you look at all of those graphs, you should see that the independent is on the x-axis and the dependent is on the y-axis. Okay, if you notice all of the graphs, notice there are no points. In the next lesson that we get to, we are going to have points. So all of these are, it's called continuous. And we'll get into that more later, or hopefully you remember that from last year. But so continuous, they're lines, not points. Okay, meaning they all have arrows, like you can look. So they just keep going. Okay, so you could say all have arrows, maybe. And you could add a few other things if you notice anything else. Those were the big things that I wanted to make sure that we got. So what differences do you notice? So if you notice, this one goes up and comes down. This one goes down and then comes up. So we always talk about it from left to right. So it's going down and then it goes up. So hopefully you will notice that. This one, notice, just goes down. This one is going up. This one's getting lower. Ooh, this one has up, not, and then up again. So we could write some of those things. So what differences? Some go up. Some go down. Some go up and down. We also saw one that had multiple parts. On some. So some had multiple parts. Look at the graphs again and see if you see anything else. Well, this one's a straight line. This one curves. So we could say some are straight. Some curve. Okay, so how did you label the independent and dependent quantities? We kind of put that up there, but it's the same thing. So the independent is on the x-axis. The dependent is on the y-axis. Okay, analyze each graph from left to right. So that's what I was talking about when you look at this one. So it says what characteristics, sorry, I can't talk, do you notice? So if I am moving from left to right, so we're going to start here and I'm going to move from left to right, 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 to right. So this one goes down and then goes up. So that's what we were talking about here. So instead of saying goes up, I'm going to say increase. Some go down, which would be decrease. And then some increase, decrease. Okay, so that is question 4. Now I'm going to move my book and go to question 5. So I went ahead and already marked which graphs these should be. So if you look for the problem that says smartphone, but it's a smart deal, if you look back, that would be this graph right here. So I just printed extra ones so that I can look at these. So notice it's the same graph. So that's where I got all of these. Like graph B is graph B that we glued in. Don't worry about, do not pull them out actually. I just printed an extra one so that I could not be flipping back and forth. But of course you can flip back and forth if you want to, or you can just watch as I am pointing, or as I put the two graphs up here. Okay, so we're going to compare these two and we're going to talk about similarities and differences. So if you look at graph B and graph A, try to find something that's the same. Well, they both start low and end higher. So again, that's what we talked about right over here. That means it's increasing. So both increased from start to finish. Okay, now let's try to find something that's different. So B, let's talk about B first. What's different about B? So B is a curve, I guess you could say. So B curves. A has straight lines. And has 3 parts. Meaning it has a part that's like this, it has a part that's like this, and then a part like that. So 1, 2, 3 parts. Okay, so look at it and see if you see anything else that's different. I don't always catch the same things you guys do, so if you have something else, you could add it there as well. All right, so graph H and graph D. So again, see if you can find something that's the same, and then let's find the differences. So the same, so both, well, just like the opposite of those two that were up there, they both increased. These both decreased. They start higher and end low. So these decrease from start to finish. Okay. Graph H is a straight line. And graph D is a curve. Okay, again, look to see if you can find anything else that's different. If you can't, that's okay. Those are the big things that I wanted to make sure that we understood. Okay, and then this last one, graph F and graph C. So graph F and graph C. Okay, what is the same? So both okay, so look at both of them. What do you notice about them? So I like to call this a turning point. So this one, notice, is going up, 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 and then down, 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 down. This one is going down, 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 and then up. So both have a turning point. What we'll actually call these later on in Algebra 1 is a minimum. So this one has a minimum, and that one has a maximum. So that turning point, where it stopped going up and then started going down, or stopped going down and then started going up, those are called minimum and maximums. Okay. They also both increase and decrease at some point. Okay, different. Graph F is a curve. Graph C is two straight lines. Okay, so that is all of that. The next thing that you're going to do is just talking about you're not going to do the talk. You could if you wanted to just see how you could do. But the next thing you're going to do is the assignment. Okay.